Scott, and welcome to my home and to my kitchen. Through this series of videos, I'm going to show you how to create delicious home-cooked meals for yourself, your friends, and your family. So let's get started. Today I've actually been invited to go to a dinner party tonight, and they've asked me to bring the dessert. So I'm going to take banana pudding. It's delicious, it's easy, and it's not made with the pudding in the box. So let's get started. Okay, so for the recipe, what we're going to need to get together is 2 cups of whole milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, let it sit out for a little while to soften, 2 egg yolks, and when you separate the eggs, put the egg whites in a separate bowl. We're going to use those later for the topping, you'll see. We're going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of flour, a teaspoon of the best vanilla extract that you can find, a box of your favorite vanilla wafers, and 4 bananas, a casserole dish. This one's probably about 9 by 14, approximately that size, and a decent sized stainless steel pot to put it all together in. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is preheat the oven to 425. That's just going to be when we finish the product to be able to toast that meringue that goes on top. So in the pot, we want to turn the heat on, let that come just to a little bit of a temperature. And the first thing we're going to add is our 2 tablespoons of butter. On top of that, we're going to put 1 cup of sugar, the 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 egg yolks. I just want to make sure we get all those in, because that's actually going to be the thickening agent in this, along with the flour. So I just want to make sure we have a decent amount of that. If you get eggs and they're really small, just add a 2nd or a 3rd egg yolk to that. So we're going to add our 2 cups of milk. And 1/8 teaspoon of salt. That's just going to bring the flavor out. And then with the whisk in our pot, we're just going to start to whisk these ingredients together. And this is going to cook for a little while. About 10 minutes until it comes to a nice custard or pudding state in our pot. So we're just going to continue whisking this, let all the ingredients incorporate. The whisk is important to really break up that flour so you don't have lumps in your pudding. And the heat is important too. You don't want to cook it over too high of a heat because everything would start to sort of scorch a little bit, which would not be a good thing. But we want to keep it over just a moderate temperature, and we're going to keep whisking this for about 10 minutes. Okay, so while my custard's on the stove, I'm keeping a close eye on it, just making sure that the eggs don't curdle or start to turn into scrambled eggs. What we're going to do is start lining our casserole dish with our vanilla wafers. Just 1 layer on there for now. In this pan, actually 4 across fits nicely. And that's going to be about half the box of vanilla wafers. Alright, on top of this, what we're going to do is start chopping up our bananas. Half of them at this point. Just into little circles, probably 1/4 of an inch or so thick. We're going to layer those on. When the custard comes up, we're going to pour half of it over to another layer and then put the other half of the custard on top. Okay, so I wanted to show you exactly what this custard needs to look like when it's ready. So let's take a look in the pot. Alright, it's quite thick, and it's actually been just about 10 minutes over medium heat. I've been whisking it pretty constantly here the last 5 minutes, and it kind of clung to the whisk a little bit, and that's how you know it's done. So turn our heat off, get it off the heat, whisk it just a little bit, and now we're going to add our vanilla. So one teaspoon of the vanilla is going to go into the custard. If you like a little bit more, put a little bit more. If you don't like that much, add half. But I really think half a teaspoon is probably the least you want to do in this. It's going to give it a nice vanilla flavor. Okay, so we've incorporated the vanilla into the custard. I'm going to add half of this onto our already prepared casserole with the vanilla wafers and the bananas that we already put in and layered. half of that's going to go in. I'm going to kind of just spread it out a little bit. Now then take the remaining vanilla wafers, make another layer. You can be as random about this as possible. I mean, it's just really, inside this custard, everything's going to kind of start to break down and get a little bit soft, which is really delicious, especially with the meringue that's going to go on top. So we're going to put a few, or almost all that's left here. The other 2 bananas that we've chopped up are going to go in. Right on top of those vanilla wafers. It already looks good. And then the rest of the custard, or pudding. It's going to go right on top. See how thick that got? It got really luscious, which is exactly what you want. So I'm just going to scrape all this out because I don't want to leave any in that pot, because it will either go into the sink or become a snack for me, and neither is what we want. All right. Perfect. All right, so let's go make the topping. Okay, so in the bowl of an electric mixer, what we're going to do is take the 2 egg whites that we reserved from the yolks for the custard, put those in, and go ahead and turn our mixer on pretty high. And what we're going to do is let this mixer run for a bit, let it start to form a really nice meringue. Gradually I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of the sugar to that, granulated sugar. Okay, so the meringue is done. It's come to nice stiff peaks, and the way I can tell is I just take the whip, and our peaks stand straight up, so we're good to go. All right. Okay, so we're just going to add our meringue to the top of this banana pudding, sort of in nice globules, technical word, because we're going to smooth it out once we get it all on there. We're going to get all of it out of there. Using the sink, clean that up. All right, just with your spatula, just spread this meringue sort of out. We want to leave it sort of puffy and like clouds, so not flat. Because what we're going to do, if you remember, we preheated our oven to 425. So we're going to take this, put it into the oven, so it'll lightly brown this meringue, sort of delicately brown it, for about 4 to 4.5 minutes. Do not walk away from the oven though. Don't answer the phone. Don't go check your email. Just wait. It's going to take about 4 minutes. Okay, so into the 450 or 425, sorry, oven. It will go. And I'm going to stand here and wait for it to pop out. In 4.5 minutes, almost exactly, we're going to take this out, and it looks so good. I can't wait to take this to the party tonight. I think everyone's going to love it, and I'm going to tell them we did not make it with pudding out of a box. So you see it's nicely browned. And you know what? I have to taste this. I can't cut into it because we're going to be serving it at the party tonight. I'm just going to sneak in here. A little bit of everything. Taste. So good, y'all. You have to try it. It's so much better than anything you can buy at the store or make out of a box. So enjoy the banana pudding. It's so much better than anything you can buy out of a box or make out of a box or buy at the store. I think your friends and family are really going to love it, and you are too. Alright, so email me at scottindenver@msn.com. That's SCOTTIN Denver@msn.com. Let me know what you think about the show. If there's any recipe you'd like me to see me demonstrate, I'd be happy to. And let me know if there's other things that you'd like to see us do. So until next time, take care, try the banana pudding, and see you soon. Bye.